Este filme é baseado em fatos reais. Contém cenas fortes que podem não ser adequadas a todos os telespectadores.
When the bomb detonated, I remember distinctly feeling the heat and the rush of air come from behind me, and basically just forced me to the ground.
This bomb was built for one purpose, to cause as much harm to personnel as possible.
I remember the light and a lot of debris, then the shock wave that hits you.
Every hole that was in the building was a nail, and they could tell where I had been standing because there was an outline of person on the glass here. All the nails that were going to be there were in my body instead.
It's one thing to set a bomb with a timer and walk away from it. It's a whole other thing to stand across the street, see someone lean over your device and click the button.
FBI no século XXI. Terror nas Olimpíadas. No verão de 1996, milhões de pessoas foram assistir aos Jogos Olímpicos em Atlanta.
A lot of vendors set up tents in here. Right along in this area here was the AT&T Global Olympic Village. The park was fairly full. I would say probably in the neighborhood of 70 or 80,000 people in the park. A very festive time. I was the assistant venue commander here in Centennial Park. My duties included supervising the intelligence detail teams that we had assigned to the park.
What's this?
About 12:50 that evening, I was walking on the sidewalk up near the AT&T Tower. Richard Jewell flagged me down and basically just said, look, we got some drunks over here and they're not paying any attention to me and they're throwing beer cans in here and disrupting everyone. Would you mind, taking care of it? And we tried to find the guys that were throwing the beer cans. He looked at the bench and he said, one of them must have left that bag there. It was fairly common for bags to be left unattended. And in every situation where one was found, we had to follow the protocol that was established.
Primeiro, os policiais no local tentaram encontrar o dono da mochila. Sem resultado, eles entraram em contato com a equipe antibomba do FBI e da ATF e isolaram a região em volta do banco. Meia-noite e 58, a polícia de Atlanta recebeu uma ligação de emergência.
Atlanta, 911.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
The severity of the situation became clear to me when the diagnostic team made the decision to bring in a render safe team. I knew at that point that we had to evacuate that area.
Mas retirar milhares de pessoas de uma área de 83 mil metros quadrados não é uma tarefa fácil.
Some people became very resistant to moving, and you got to remember that part of the park, right in front of the stage, was a focal point, and people didn't want to give up their seat for something that may not turn out to be anything.
Enquanto as autoridades tentavam isolar o local, Alice Hawthorne, uma mãe de 44 anos, posava para uma foto.
When the bomb detonated, it was, of course, a very loud explosion, a very forceful explosion. I remember distinctly feeling the heat and the rush of air come from behind me, and basically just forced me to the ground. looked around and people were screaming. There were many severely injured. Of course, we were tending to our own people as well.
A bomba cheia de pregos explodiu, enviando estilhaços num raio de centenas de metros. As ambulâncias evacuaram 96 vítimas para 4 hospitais. Alice Hawthorne morreu instantaneamente. Outra vítima, Melly Usingham, um operador de câmera, morreu de ataque cardíaco enquanto corria para filmar o local.
Who would have thought that somebody would bring a bomb into Atlanta, Georgia and detonate it while the Olympics was going on? I was surprised, to be quite frank with you.
The backpack that the device was placed in was a military-style backpack, which is commonly called an Alice pack. That also gave us some suggestion that maybe our bomber had some experience in the military.
Quando as autoridades conseguiram isolar o local, o FBI, a ATF e os outros órgãos começaram a trabalhar. Os investigadores interrogaram as testemunhas para reconstituir os eventos que levaram à explosão. Richard Jewell, o primeiro segurança a ver a mochila, contou às autoridades sobre o grupo de arruaceiros que havia visto perto dela. Imediatamente, uma unidade foi encarregada de encontrá-los e trazê-los para interrogatório, enquanto o resto da equipe iniciou a difícil tarefa de investigar o local.
They do line searches, they sift through the dirt of the crater, and they come up with everything that is to be found.
A equipe recolheu mais de 500 sacos de escombros com cerca de 500 a 600 pedaços. Todos esses pedaços foram enviados para a unidade de explosivos do FBI em Quantico, na Virgínia. Uma análise completa levaria semanas ou até mesmo meses. Em Atlanta, a mídia considerou o segurança Richard Jewell um herói por descobrir a mochila a tempo. Mas apenas um dia após o ataque, o FBI recebeu por telefone uma pista intrigante sobre o herói do Parque Centennial, de um ex-colega de trabalho. Richard Jewell havia sido acusado de ser um policial exageradamente dedicado. Um policial que abusava de sua autoridade e de sua jurisdição. E talvez agora, ele estivesse se esforçando demais para se tornar um herói. Enquanto os agentes em Atlanta interrogavam centenas de testemunhas e suspeitos do atentado à bomba, os peritos do laboratório do FBI em Quantico examinavam os indícios.
We will go through those 500 bags of debris, determine what the components are, and come up with a logical scenario for how the device was placed.
Eles descobriram que a bomba havia sido feita com 3 tubos de aço de 30 centímetros. Cada um deles continha mais de 450 gramas de pólvora sem fumaça e 160 pregos. A bomba havia sido equipada com uma bateria de 12 volts com um relógio de corda e um detonador. Uma placa de aço concentraria os estilhaços numa determinada região. Ao todo, 480 pregos foram grudados em volta dos tubos com fita isolante.
This statue's probably about 40 yards from where the bomb exploded. You can actually see here where one of the nails struck the statue. Over in this area you can see other areas that were struck by shrapnel and debris from the explosion.
There's no question in my mind that this bomb was built for one purpose, and the purpose of that was anti-personnel device, to cause as much harm to personnel in the vicinity of this bomb exploding as possible.
Em Atlanta, o grupo de arruaceiros visto perto da mochila foi rapidamente considerado inocente. Com poucos indícios para prosseguir, o FBI não pôde delinear um perfil oficial do criminoso. Mas não demorou muito para que a mídia criasse sua própria teoria. E as suspeitas logo recaíram sobre o homem que encontrou a bomba, Richard Jewell.
It's not been uncommon that person in the end was the person responsible because they wanted to look like the hero.
Richard was fairly overzealous when we were trying to determine whether or not the package belonged to someone. He was very adamant about going from person to person. It was an urgent situation for him.
Determinar se essa urgência era decorrente do senso de dever de Richard ou de uma necessidade doentia de ser importante exigia uma investigação de seus antecedentes. E os investigadores logo descobriram que havia falhas em seu histórico de trabalho. Enquanto trabalhava como segurança num condomínio, ele prendeu um casal por excesso de barulho.
What seems to be the problem? You being serious, sir?
Ele foi preso por se fazer passar por policial e foi obrigado a procurar ajuda psicológica. No dia 30 de julho de 1996, o mesmo dia da reabertura do Parque Centennial, um jornal de Atlanta publicou a história de Richard. Naquela manhã, os agentes federais surpreenderam Richard na frente da casa de sua mãe e pediram para que ele fosse até a sede de Atlanta.
Ultimately, you just want you read the body language. Okay, Richard, let me get you the sign right at the bottom down here.
When they said you have the right to counsel, Richard's antenna goes up. He knows what this means. He said, I want to call my lawyer. And at that point, that's when he started making phone calls to me. I said to him, have you seen the headlines in the newspaper? The FBI suspects Hero Guard may have planted bombs. So what the hell are you doing?
Richard foi solto, mas não podia deixar a cidade. No dia 31 de julho, os agentes do FBI se prepararam para executar um mandado de busca.
They took nails, they took tape, they took basically common household things that could in some way be used in making a bomb.
Mas a pista mais incriminadora era um segmento da cerca do Parque Centennial que foi destruída com a explosão.
When law enforcement officers are involved in criminal investigations, it is not a good practice to take anything from the scene, especially some type of memorabilia or a keepsake.
Cansado das acusações sem provas e da implacável atenção da mídia, no dia 4 de agosto, Richard Jewell passou voluntariamente pelo detetor de mentiras. Os resultados foram inconclusivos. Mas, quando as suspeitas da mídia chegavam ao auge, o FBI pediu uma ordem judicial para obter amostras da voz de Richard para compará-las com a ligação feita para a emergência na noite do atentado. Eles também terminaram os testes forenses dos indícios recolhidos na casa do suspeito. E o que descobriram surpreendeu muita gente.
All the investigation conducted of Mr. Jewell failed to make any direct connections between him and any of the components used in the device. No real motivation could be found as to why he would have done that other than the debatable issue about wanting to be the hero.
No dia 26 de outubro de 1996, o FBI excluiu Richard Jewell como provável suspeito.
The FBI never said he was, in fact, the bomber. The FBI was just carrying out its job of doing a legitimate investigation of a crime.
Park here. I got a bag.
He's a hero. He did his job well. They put his life at risk by moving the crowd away. This man's attention to detail might have saved the Olympics.
Quase 3 meses após a explosão no Parque Centennial, as autoridades voltaram ao ponto de partida. O FBI pediu a ajuda do público e liberou a fita com a ameaça.
There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes.
e a foto de uma mochila semelhante àquela que guardava a bomba. Naquele momento, a única informação que eles tinham é que o criminoso era um homem com sotaque norte-americano.
Once Richard Jules ruled out as being the suspect, the investigation continues, and that's where a lot of these additional suspects grow out of. We got a fairly regular stream of tips about people who could possibly have been responsible for it.
O FBI recolheu fotos e vídeos feitos no evento, esperando que alguém houvesse capturado, sem querer, a imagem do criminoso colocando a mochila com a bomba no local. Mas não houve resultados.
Well, with the bomb being put in a place where you've got tens of thousands of people who you have to assume are innocent bystanders, it certainly paints the picture of someone who really doesn't care who his victims are when he detonates that device.
Mais de 500 suspeitos foram interrogados e liberados. O caso esfriou, mas a pressão sobre a equipe de investigadores não diminuiu.
There certainly was concern that this could happen again. There's no reason to believe our bomber's just going to do it one time.
My wife has a law office at the Sandy Springs Professional Building, and on that particular morning, we had our daughters in a makeshift nursery in the corner of the building. I called the office from my cell phone and asked the clerks to please have the girls ready to go in the lobby because I just wanted to have a quick pick up and go. And that turned out to be the most important phone call I think I ever made.
Após 173 dias, o FBI via a procura por um suspeito do atentado mortal do Parque Olímpico ficar cada vez mais difícil. Mas a 24 quilômetros dali, em Sandy Springs, na Geórgia, um evento poderia colocar em xeque toda a investigação.
When I arrived at the Sandy Springs Professional Building, walked in to upstairs to my wife's law office on the 3rd floor, and there were the girls ready to go, and I sat down on the couch in the main lobby of her office just for a second. I remember seeing light outside the windows and then the explosion, and it was almost a huge shockwave. You could smell the odor of explosives, and the first thing that goes through your head, number one, is everybody okay? My daughters were okay, the workers were okay, but obviously there had been some serious damage to the office, and at that point, you just want to get out.
Logo ficou claro que o alvo da bomba era a clínica de planejamento familiar Northside, no primeiro andar do prédio. A clínica oferecia serviços de obstetrícia e ginecologia, incluindo aborto.
Once we were down in the parking lot, we could see the smoke coming out from the family clinic window. It was just kind of billowing out. I went over to check out the damage, and I could see the tremendous damage. Then I picked up the cell phone and called my wife. She was in court, and I said, I think a bomb went off downstairs from your law office. And she immediately got in her car and got to the scene. Then I picked up the cell phone and called the radio station.
A polícia local, o resgate e os bombeiros chegaram em poucos minutos. O FBI e a ATF chegaram logo depois.
The device was placed on the outside wall against where the abortion clinic was located, near a window. When the device detonated, the blast went through the window, causing a great deal of damage inside the clinic. At that time of the morning, there really wasn't anyone outside, so we did not have any injuries outside. There weren't any injuries inside either.
Os investigadores recolheram o máximo possível de informações e indícios.
I stayed on the scene for probably the next hour and continued to report the story for my radio station. And then my wife managed to jump the crime tape and came and joined me on the front lawn, and we embraced, and at that moment I said, it's over. I go, everything's fine, it's all over.
Às 10h37, uma hora após a explosão, uma segunda bomba foi detonada.
I remember the light and a lot of debris. Then this shockwave that hits you like if you've ever been too close to a fireworks display and you feel it in your chest, amplify that by about 100 times. And the shockwave enters your skull, and it's the longest second in your life and travels through your head and just blows out the back of your head. And we saw shrapnel flying by us, and at that point it was, let's get out of here entirely. Maybe there's a third bomb.
Felizmente, uma fila de carros estacionados absorveu uma grande parte do impacto.
Several people were down with injuries. Fortunately, nobody killed, but still injured, and people were tending to them.
When we got word that another bombing had occurred, certainly it crossed our minds that it could be related, could be the same bomber. And I say that based on the fact that most metropolitan areas, including Atlanta, don't tend to have a lot of major bombing.
Mas os dois alvos, o show das Olimpíadas e a clínica de aborto, não mantinham ligações óbvias. E o mais importante, os indícios do local sugeriam que o tipo de explosivos usado não era semelhante ao do primeiro atentado. Uma força-tarefa conjunta de agentes do FBI e da ATF foi formada para compartilhar informações e recursos. Quando as notícias foram divulgadas, os investigadores conseguiram sua primeira pista.
A witness told us that he had been going by this location about 6 in the morning, the day of the blast. He had observed an individual crouched down to where the secondary device had been located. He described the individual as a white male wearing a hooded sweatshirt. He also described the individual as having what he described as an entrenching tool, which is a small collapsible military-style shovel.
As imagens da câmera de segurança corroboraram o relato da testemunha, mas não registraram o rosto do suspeito. Foi feito um retrato falado com base em uma vaga descrição. Até o momento, era a melhor pista. Nas 3 semanas seguintes, os investigadores federais compararam os dispositivos do Parque Centennial e de Sandy Springs. Em pouco tempo, eles fizeram uma terrível descoberta.
Eventually, the review of the components did lead us to accept that it was the same bomber, but the similarities came about from the same types of clocks used as a timing device. A lot of the wiring and tape, those types of things were similar.
Um criminoso, 2 alvos muito diferentes. Um evento público e uma clínica de aborto. Enquanto o FBI procurava uma conexão entre os dois locais, uma ligação começou a emergir. Eles mesmos.
At the Sandy Springs bombing, we had a very unique situation occur with a second device, which had been placed at a location where the bomber assumed law enforcement and rescue personnel would be congregated, having responded to the first device. The question as to why he's targeting law enforcement is unanswered. It certainly gives us some sense of the mentality of the individual we're looking for, but the question of why was certainly up in the air.
Os investigadores ainda não conheciam o motivo do criminoso e até aquele momento suas tentativas haviam falhado. Mas o FBI sabia que ele não havia chegado ao fim.
And so the bomb hit and I just went straight down here. In the building, every hole that was in the building was a nail, and they could tell where I was standing because there was an outline of a person on this glass. All those nails got me instead.
Com apenas uma vaga descrição e nenhum motivo conhecido, a força-tarefa conjunta do FBI e da ATF alertou as autoridades locais e estaduais sobre o criminoso e a possibilidade de outros atentados.
Having a secondary device in bombings is very rare. something that is taught to some degree in the military as a tactical maneuver, gave us yet another reason to think our bomber might in fact have a military background.
Eles interrogaram e liberaram centenas de suspeitos.
It was time-consuming and tedious, but it's the kind of thing that needs to be done in this type of investigation.
We received a phone call from our manager saying that there was a loud noise. He was real shook up.
He thought that something had gone off. He said, I think something may have exploded.
Quando a dona do estabelecimento, Dana Ford, chegou ao Other Side Lounge, uma casa noturna GLBT popular em Atlanta, ela ficou aliviada em descobrir que apenas 5 pessoas haviam ficado feridas na explosão.
I mean, who thinks bomb? I mean, now in today's day we might, but back then the terrorism wasn't on everyone's tongue.
We got a phone call and had been advised that there had been yet another bombing, this one at the Other Side Lounge, and in fact that a secondary device had been found.
Os peritos tentaram estabilizar o segundo dispositivo durante a noite. Mas quando um robô tentou desarmar a bomba, ela explodiu sem aviso. Não levou muito tempo para as autoridades conseguirem uma pista para prosseguir. Uma carta, assumindo a autoria dos atentados de Sand Springs e Other Side Lounge, foi enviada para vários meios de comunicação. O autor declarava ser membro de um grupo extremista bem conhecido, chamado Arm of God.
There was enough detail about the devices in the letters that made it very clear this was in fact the person who had set the devices. Most of the letter was an attack against the government, an attack against abortion, an attack against homosexuality. The writer felt compelled not just to attack those entities, but the elements of the government that the writer felt was protecting abortion and homosexual lifestyle, and the FBI, the ATF, and U.S. Marshals.
A lot of times people project their hatred and blame onto different groups of people, whether they be lesbian and gays, whether they be African Americans or anti-abortionists. And our sense was that this anti-abortionist mission provided him with moral justification to carry out this underlying anger and express the anger that we think was sort of brewing inside of him. And we weren't sure of exactly what the source of that was, but we felt that this was an underlying motivation.
As cartas foram enviadas para análise em Quantico. Mas elas não apresentavam nenhuma impressão digital nem traços de DNA. Uma investigação do Arm of God não apontou nenhum líder ou sede. Mais uma vez, o caso esfriou.
When I came into work that morning, I always parked down here, and Sandy always parked in the upper parking lot. We met and talked for a moment, and he noticed something in the ground, and he motioned for me to back up. It's got a 20B at 1700 10th Avenue South, 1700 10th Avenue South at Birmingham Women's Clinic.
A polícia de Birmingham chegou junto com o corpo de bombeiros e os paramédicos. A enfermeira Emily Lyons estava gravemente ferida e um homem havia morrido.
Officer Sanderson was a Birmingham police officer. He was a patrolman. He works an extra job at the clinic. You see the destruction of the bomb, and then you learn that it was one of your officers that was killed that was there. There's a lot of emotion.
Police had already cordoned off about a block area in each direction from the site, being cognizant of possible secondary devices. There was a very large crater right here. When the bomb went off, it was directional in nature, meaning that the shrapnel was directed toward the clinic itself. But when the bomb went off, the shrapnel went that way, injuring Emily Lyons, and Officer Sanderson was thrown that way, up against that railing over there.
Não foi encontrada uma segunda bomba. Mas eles acreditavam que o episódio estava ligado aos atentados da Geórgia.
The more we talked, the more that the crime scene investigators began to look at the device itself and the bombing. The thought began to take place that, okay, there's enough similarities that perhaps they were built and detonated to the same person.
Os investigadores procuraram testemunhas na região. Mas, desta vez, o esforço valeu a pena. Pouco após a explosão, um aluno da Universidade do Alabama viu um homem suspeito perto da clínica e decidiu segui-lo.
The student continues following the individual for about 4 blocks. The individual then turns down an alley, and momentarily after that, he sees the same individual has changed his appearance somewhat, but the student knows that's the same guy I've been following.
Mas o estudante o perdeu de vista e entrou num restaurante para ligar para a emergência.
The student finished talking with the police. He goes and gets in his vehicle. He sees the gray pickup truck and he recognizes the driver.
O número da placa do veículo registrado na Carolina do Norte deu ao FBI sua primeira pista e um nome: Eric Rudolph, de Asheville, de 31 anos. Mas ter a caminhonete avistada em Birmingham no dia do atentado não significava que ele era o responsável. Eles precisavam de muito mais informações. O endereço conhecido de Eric em Asheville, na Carolina do Norte, não forneceu nenhuma pista. A casa havia pertencido à sua mãe alguns anos atrás. Os investigadores procuraram seu nome nos bancos de dados, mas não encontraram nada sobre o suspeito. A desconfiança das autoridades cresceu quando eles perceberam como era difícil encontrar qualquer tipo de registro do indivíduo.
Didn't have a bank account. Paid most of his bills either with cash or with money orders. So when you have someone doing that type of thing, it's hard to track them or to trace where they've been.
Mas quanto mais eles investigavam, mais Eric se encaixava no perfil.
According to a number of witnesses, Eric had, since high school, expressed anti-government, anti-Semitic, and very racist sentiments. Eric had spent 2 years in the U.S. Army. But when he came back, he had changed, that there was something more sinister. Eric was not unlike a lot of bombers, a very secretive individual, a very passive-aggressive individual. The significance of that for us in the investigation is that people who are given to introversion lead compartmented lives. They don't disclose to other people all aspects of their life.
Enquanto isso, um laboratório da ATF determinou que o dispositivo de Birmingham era semelhante às bombas de Atlanta, mas com uma diferença sinistra. Desta vez, um controle remoto havia sido usado.
The FBI told us that it had been remote controlled. All I could do was cry. You know, they're telling me that this person stood across the street and pushed the button intentionally to kill us. Why?
He wanted to actually see it, and he was taking risks to see it. So this told us that he was escalating his attacks.
Mas os investigadores conseguiram outra pista. Eles localizaram Eric em um endereço em Murphy, na Carolina do Norte. Em 30 de janeiro, apenas um dia após o atentado em Birmingham, as autoridades federais, estaduais e locais foram para a pequena cidade. Às 9 horas da noite, uma equipe da SWAT se posicionou fora de sua casa.
He was on his turf, and we knew we were here for the long haul.
Quase 1 ano e meio após uma bomba explodir no Parque Centennial em Atlanta, oprimido de uma série de atentados, a Força-Tarefa Conjunta se preparava para entrar na casa de Eric Rudolph, o homem que poderia ser o responsável por 3 mortes e dezenas de pessoas feridas.
When we went into the trailer, we found somebody who left in a hurry. The door was open, the light was on, and there was, I think, $1,600 cash. He definitely wasn't planning on coming back.
Os investigadores encontraram resíduos de dinamite, peças de um controle remoto de aeroplano, parecido com o usado em Birmingham, e outra terrível ligação com aquele homicídio.
During the autopsy of Officer Sanderson, part of a radiator hose clamp was found inside his body. A receipt was found that showed that on December 24th, 1997, approximately 1 month before the bombing, that he had purchased the exact same hose clamp that had been identified.
As autoridades federais e locais suspeitavam que Eric havia fugido para as montanhas próximas e começaram a vasculhar a densa floresta nacional de Nantahala.
You could be standing 4 feet from someone and not see them, and we knew we were in for a long haul.
Os investigadores do FBI improvisaram uma sede no prédio da Guarda Nacional. Mal sabiam eles que não seriam os únicos a caçar na floresta. No dia 7 de fevereiro, eles encontraram a caminhonete de Eric na floresta ao sul de Murphy. A equipe de busca se embrenhou no mato para procurá-lo, mas não encontrou o suspeito. Dentro do veículo, eles descobriram mais provas que ligavam Eric aos crimes. Nos meses seguintes, os investigadores fizeram o possível para localizar Eric.
In a normal fugitive case, you talk to people and somebody along the way has seen the person you're looking for. In this case, nobody had seen him.
He had told several friends that if he ever got into trouble, he was going into those mountains and no one would ever find him there.
Em maio de 1998, 4 meses após ser visto pela última vez em Birmingham, o FBI colocou Eric Rudolph na lista dos mais procurados. Eles ofereceram uma recompensa de $1 milhão por informações que levassem à sua prisão. A frustração cresceu quando ninguém apareceu. Os meses se transformaram em anos e não havia o menor sinal de Eric, mas o FBI não desistiu.
I must admit, it's frustrating. We'd heard every possible joke imaginable regarding how bumbling we were.
Durante 5 anos, 3 meses e 29 dias, a fé dos agentes federais foi testada, enquanto encontravam um impasse atrás do outro.
There was major concerns that he would strike again. Our worst case scenario was that he would come out and he would plant another bomb, or that he would shoot one of our SWAT team members as they scoured the woods looking for him. It was always very present in our mind that he was out there, he was armed, and still very dangerous.
Quase 7 anos após o primeiro atentado à bomba nas Olimpíadas, um policial do município de Cherokee, que fazia uma ronda de rotina, viu um homem se esgueirando atrás de um supermercado. Ele desconfiou que o indivíduo planejava arrombá-lo e pediu reforços.
I arrived on scene and I noticed his face and I got a real bad sick feeling. And that's because it just hit me that fast who it was.
O suspeito disse que seu nome era Jerry Wilson. Ele foi levado sob custódia.
We got a hold of one of the wanted posters, printed it off, and we went in there and started talking to him. And then he finally said, you know, I'm Eric Robert Rudolph, you've got me. He said he was tired of running.
I don't think I really believed the report at first. Eventually I talked to someone on scene, and they indicated, yes, it is in fact him. They'd verified the fingerprints. So it was both shocking, but at the same time, just an enormous relief.
The day that Rudolph was captured was a Saturday. And way too early in the morning, the phone rang. It was a friend of ours telling us to turn the TV on. And I said, Rudolph. Yep. He'd been caught. I mean, it was just unbelievable.
Sob custódia, Eric Rudolph cooperou com as autoridades e contou onde havia se escondido durante todo aquele tempo. No dia 3 de julho de 2003, ele foi extraditado para Birmingham, onde se declarou inocente pelo atentado da clínica de aborto em 1998. Os promotores federais anunciaram que pediriam a pena de morte pelo assassinato do policial Robert Sanderson. Mas Eric ainda tinha uma carta na manga.
Eric had indicated he had explosives buried in various locations in North Carolina, and that some of those locations were near businesses and main roads.
Dynamite becomes more volatile over time, and the amount of dynamite that we're talking about, probably 250 pounds of dynamite that he had stashed in the mountains, became a threat to anybody who was in the area.
Eric concordou em revelar a localização dos esconderijos em troca da prisão perpétua. A promotoria aceitou o acordo.
We proceeded here to the National Guard Armory to await word on where those locations were, and we were shocked to find out that the first location that came in was at the National Guard Armory. He said he planned to detonate it to kill the agents.
Mas, segundo Eric, último resquício de humanidade impediu que ele detonasse os explosivos. Por fim, toda a dinamite foi encontrada e em 13 de abril de 2005, Eric Rudolph se declarou culpado de 5 atentados à bomba na Geórgia e do atentado em Birmingham.
He was quite vindictive in his comments to people, indicating that they made themselves targets by being a part of the abortion industry or living the homosexual lifestyle.
Em sua declaração, ele disse se arrepender de uma única coisa.
He did not intend for the innocent bystanders to be hurt at Centennial Park. He had meant the device to target the responders to the device, and that is why he had made the 911 call advising of the device.
Por seus crimes e as mortes do policial de Birmingham, Robert Sanderson, a espectadora do show das Olimpíadas, Alice Hawthorne, e o operador de câmera turco, Melih Uzunol, Eric Rudolph recebeu 6 sentenças consecutivas de prisão perpétua. Atualmente, ele cumpre a pena na prisão de segurança máxima ADX Florence.
Versão brasileira, DPN Santos.
Having worked it for 9 years, I was extremely satisfied to hear him stand in court and plead guilty to all of these incidents. Time being served at a Supermax facility, knowing what the conditions are there, I think his conditions there are probably in a number of ways worse than a death sentence.